Yo, 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 what's poppin'? We're back. I am back. And my surprise guest, Mr. Omar A. Sims. Please say the A.
Ali.
Oh, is
Omar
that what it
Ali
is?
Sims.
Omar Ali Sims. Okay. Well, Mr. Sims, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here with
Thank
you. I'm
you
glad
so much for
to be
joining.
with my friend.
Absolutely.
My lifelong friend. Somebody
Yeah.
who don't mind putting me in my place when I need to be put in my place. Somebody who's I respect. Like
Yeah.
it goes a long way.
We all need that, don't we?
Yeah.
We all need that. So, with that being said, again, thank you so much for joining me today.
Okay.
This is our special surprise guest. Y'all surprised? Huh?
Don't
Y'all
be.
surprised? No? Okay. I hope you're surprised because I'm excited. I am super excited about it. So, Omar, I just want you to start by telling us all something about you. Some of us who don't know who you are, tell us something about some things about yourself.
Well, 25 years ago to this year, I ran for first ward council and I was elected as first ward council in 1997.
In 97.
Yeah, but before that, I'm a proud graduate of Flint Northwestern High School,
Okay.
Wildcats, and a
Okay.
proud graduate of Grambling State University.
You better say Grambling University.
HBCU with my friend. She also an HBCU graduate who's our former mayor, soon to be new mayor again.
Absolutely.
And also, I was county commissioner, and I'm very active in this community, and I care about this community, and I'm concerned about the plight of this community. But one thing I need to let set straight: we need to go back to school.
You
We
better
need
say.
to understand that we need to get our education because some of us been hoodwinked, some of us been fooled by what's going on in this community. So I'm here to say,
Yes.
let's go to school, let's do your homework. I have a shirt right now that
Yep.
says,
Come on, give it to him. Show it to him.
the shirt
Let
says,
me move that out the way. Y'all see this? Don't let the degrees fool you. Y'all heard what he said.
just like my mayor, Dr. Karen Weaver, don't let these degrees fool you.
I'm telling you.
You know, we all went to a school of hard knocks. However, we came up and we are winners. We're not victims and we're not whiners. You know, we're Flint strong.
Absolutely.
And if you understand your history, like I said, we go to school. You know, you talking about me. I'm a product of Flint, and I want to tell you about my friend, Dr. Karen Weaver.
Tell us
You
about it.
know, if you're in school, check this out. History. You have to know your history.
You do.
Her father was a charter member of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. Her mother, an educator, Flint Community Schools.
Yeah.
She's a graduate of the Flint Northern High School.
Yeah.
I told you she's a graduate of HBCU.
Absolutely.
And she got a doctorate degree in what? Clinical what?
Psychology.
Our city needs healing. So what do we need?
We need psychologists.
We need a healer.
And we need a healer.
And she was a healer in the midst of the water crisis. Who did we have? as a healer?
Absolutely.
The
We
other
absolutely
thing
did.
I want to say about my friend Dr. Weaver, and I put an emphasis on Dr. Weaver because she earned it. When
Absolutely.
I ran in 2014,
As you did.
yeah, I earned my degree.
As you
Nobody gave me the
did.
degree. I didn't
As
attend.
you
I
did.
earned it.
Absolutely, you
know,
did.
you know. So we come from this good start. And then she's a member of AME Church. Her mom's an educator. She's a member of a sorority,
Yeah.
a leadership.
Yeah.
So nobody gave us anything. And nobody says you have to have a degree to be a public office, but you have to have integrity. And when I think about Karen Weaver, Dr. Karen Weaver, we're going to school, right?
Let's go.
Reading is fundamental, right?
Reading is fundamental. I say it often.
So you should be able to read, right?
Absolutely.
So when you think about the K, you know what the K stands for with her? Knowledge,
Knowledge.
caring,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and caring. And when you think about the A, what do you think the A stands for? Articulate,
Mm-hmm.
academic.
Uh-huh.
That's what we have.
Okay.
And then you think about the R in the midst of the crisis, and when our city needed help, what did she do? She was responsible. She was
Mhm.
responsive.
Okay.
She didn't push the blame. She was responsible. And then guess what the E stands for?
Come on.
Educated.
Mm-hmm.
Educated enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And then the N, this is where most folks have a problem with her.
Okay, come on with the
The
end.
N is no nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
She's a no nonsense person, and she will check you in a heartbeat in a
Uh-huh.
loving and supportive way, like she's done with me on more than one occasion.
Absolutely.
But she has a heart of the community, and she's been there. And so that's why I'm here today, letting the community know that you have several individuals out there, but do your homework. like I said, let's go to school. I already gave you the history lesson,
Mm-hmm.
but let's think about the health of our community.
Mm-hmm.
She's a healer.
Mm-hmm.
She's a heal. Think about she's a healer. She went to Washington D.C. She didn't give a resolution or proclamation. She went there
Demanding.
fighting for the rights of what?
Yeah.
Activism.
Activism. Yeah, she did. She demanded
I
it.
mean, and so to me, if you go to school,
Mm-hmm.
don't get played by the music and the
Mm-hmm.
sound bites of woe is me,
Mm-hmm.
but listen to be artistic like her and be a business person, entrepreneur. We'll bring the city forward. We talk about math. When she was in office, resources was coming. We were getting things done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we just missed the deadline for the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
But who was in the forefront fighting for this community?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, some of us have a problem, not you and I, but they have a problem with the strong, intelligent.
Black woman.
I didn't say that, you said it.
I'm gonna say it.
But my mama said all the time,
Yeah.
without a woman, what would I mean?
You know what? It's funny that you say that because I say all the time, and people say that black men are the most hated, but I really believe that it's black women that are most hated because we can keep the world black.
I think it's an uninformed, uneducated person
Mm.
is the most dangerous person. And that's what we're dealing with right now in our
Yeah.
community. People are uninformed because education, you don't have to have a degree to serve in public office, but you have to have a heart. You have to be like Dr. Karen Weaver,
Absolutely.
have to have integrity.
Absolutely.
So that means if she says something to you, when she see Big Bobo on the street, it's the same message.
Yeah.
And despite who she's around, those folks are there to protect her because you have some people who are out the door no good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've seen that because they'll say one thing about you and it's totally opposite.
And being that you've seen it, you've witnessed it, and it's happened to you
It's
firsthand.
happened to me firsthand.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the person. If I meet with you and I tell you this is what we're going to do it, and 10 minutes later, it's totally opposite. I've seen that happen personally. I've seen if I had a quarter for all the lies that's been shared about me
Mm-hmm.
from 2014 to now, I'll be a multimillionaire. Dr. Karen Weaver, if she had a penny for all the stuff that's said about her right now,
Yeah.
guess what? The city wouldn't be in debt.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't need that $300 to pay your water bill, which is an insult to folks.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I'm sorry. I have to
No.
go. Let me repeat.
Say
That's an insult
It
because
is.
some people need more than that. We're not looking for a handout. We're looking for a hand up. And that's what Dr. Karen Weaver has been providing over the years. But folks don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
We get caught up in forensic. If somebody told me we got to do a forensic audit. Where's the forensic audit? Anytime money is coming in this community, we have folks who check them out. So I don't understand that. So again, for all the lies been shared about my friend, the person who I admire and respect,
Mm-hmm.
who my son and my family look up to, I don't quite understand it. And it's not about vengeance either.
It's not.
It's about the truth. Our
Yeah.
community need healing, and she's a clinical psychologist, and she's, like I said, she's active in her church. But don't get it twisted with these degrees. We do know how to do it. And that's what I like and respect about her. And she came out to me and she reached out to me and she said, Omar, what can I do to help you? Or
Yeah.
Omar, our city needs help. So that's why I'm here today. And we're winning with Weaver.
Yeah.
We're winning with Weaver.
I love it.
I don't care if you live in the 5th ward, you live in the 8th ward, you live in the 1st ward, 2nd or 3rd. We're winning with Weaver, but we need you to go to school and get educated and stop believing the fake news.
Yeah. Well, I love that you talked about integrity because that's some of the things that I want to talk about as it relates to you. So when you talk about history lessons, I wanted to go back into some history with you and some integrity that I wasn't had dealing with you and the things that happened when you were running for political office. So again, you were the city councilman for the first ward.
First ward city councilman, I was a county
You were the county
commissioner,
commissioner.
and I went to Michigan State Political Leadership Program. And I went to training. I got additional training, and I could bag it up because I have the degrees, and my mom and my dad was there when I received it. So I didn't state that I attended. I actually received them.
Yeah.
And I have a master's degree in management. May not believe it, but I do understand.
Well, absolutely. So here's the thing for me. First ward city councilman, county commissioner. Now, when you go to run for state rep, you have to give up your county commissioner seat because um, it's not a 4-year term. Am I
Not for
correct?
you.
So it wasn't a 4-year term, so you had to give up the seat. So you gave up that seat, and that seat was BB got your seat, right?
Brian Nolan, who I supported, he replaced me because success without successor is failure.
Absolutely.
So,
So he got that seat. And so in running for state rep, you were running against Jeff Bean.
yeah, an educated person from the culture college culture center. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
he
so
was.
at that time, was he still a teacher at
I
Southwestern?
believe he was retiring.
He was retiring. Okay.
I know he.
But he was a teacher at Southwestern
Yeah, he
prior
was
to.
my Ivory brother. He wasn't an Ebony brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you were also running against Sheldon Neely.
I had a running against a city council person who ended up winning the race.
And he was the city council person,
He was
right?
a city council person who just got elected, so he had a 4-year.
So he
term.
had a 4-year term.
Yeah.
So he wasn't in jeopardy of losing his seat.
There was no skin in the game for him.
Nothing at all. So he didn't really have a dog in the fight for real.
The only dog he had in the fight, I can't speak for him,
Mhm.
but I know when we spoke, it wasn't what I expected. And having gone to school and seeing that individual in the community, I was surprised that they spent for almost a year and a half on different radio shows degrading my character, saying things about me that was totally untrue that I didn't respond to. And unfortunately, some of the people in our community believe that, and it cost me the election. Am I bitter? No, I'm better because now
Yeah.
I'm wiser and I understand. That's why I'm winning with Weaver.
Yeah,
Because I don't want history to repeat itself.
absolutely not. So in that, you brought to the light this same thing that has because cream rises to the top, right? And what don't come on the wash, come on the rinse. We on the rinse cycle right now because you were washing.
Yeah.
You were washing, and you told that he didn't really have these degrees
I
that
asked
he
the
was
question.
saying.
I said, "Where's the degree at?" I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
And nobody
Could present it.
It wasn't fact checked. And
Yes.
you can't blame a staffer for that. You have to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I respect about my mayor Weaver.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I did. And after nobody checked it, I'm like, okay. And so I ran on my record, and my record was, like I said, if I had a nickel out there
Mhm.
multi, it was so screwed up about what I said and what I didn't do. And there was a radio show that they spent a year bashing my character, and some folks in his camp said some stuff about me that's totally untrue. I have a young man he's not political at all, but he was at the polls. He said, "Man, that's not true about Omar." And somebody in the other camp said, "Yes, that is." And then when I came, I said, "Well, say it to my face."
Mm.
And guess what?
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't say it. So that right there, a real man would say, "Well, I said it," and a real man, even after the fact, would say, "I'm sorry. I never heard that before."
So again, you were in the wash cycle. You were washing.
I was watching. I went through it.
And you told you were saying this, and you brought this to the light, and everybody kind of swept it under the
Because
rug.
it was no big deal.
It was literally no big deal to anybody. However, integrity matters, and it wasn't, and it was the integrity. Because it's the integrity for me right now, because I don't have a degree, and I'm not lying about it. There's nothing on anything that you can see that says that I have an education. I've been to college and done some years.
School of
Yeah,
Hard Knocks.
absolutely. I do have that, but I have attended college. I didn't finish, but I did attend, right? But I'm not fabricating a degree, right?
And you shouldn't fabricate
But
a
it's
degree.
it's integrity,
It's
and that's the
integrity.
integrity. And so
wait.
at this point, it's a flat out lie, because no longer is it fabricated. Because back then it was probably fabricated, but now it's just a flat out lie.
It's a misrepresentation of truth.
No, we gonna call it a
misrepresentation
lie.
of truth, and people not doing their homework, not going to school, and not holding people accountable. There's different standards. There's a
I love
standard
how
for
you so PC about it.
There's a standard for you. There's a standard for me, but there's a standard for other
Yeah.
people. And the stuff that's going on right now in our city, if Mayor Weaver would have did that, they would have had her, guess what, out on Saginaw Street. They would have gave her an eviction notice,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't give it. So what happened to me was unfortunate. And are they happy? I don't know. Have I moved on? Yes. But the community need to do their homework and don't take everything that's been said by individuals or count at face value because it's not necessarily true. And you don't need a degree to be in office, but it's integrity, and you need to be able to count.
But here's the thing. So back then, he was only just elected to city council.
He was been in office for.
But here's the thing for me. What city council person has staff?
Well, I didn't have staff.
I'm asking you a question. I just want to know what city council person has staff because he said a staffer did it, but that was back in 2014.
2014.
Who has staff? Hey, if any city council people are watching, please write in the chat or call me on the phone. Y'all know my number and tell me
Wait a
if
minute.
you
I
have
know
staff.
Staff in Detroit have staff.
Oh, we don't live in Detroit.
Oh, so
We live right here.
wait. Thank you. So you can say stuff and folks not check it. That's why I said need to go to school. We
I'm
need to do our
I'm
homework.
just trying to figure out what city council person has staff because I've been around Tanya Burns and she has never had staff. I just got confirmation from Tanya Burns that they don't have any staff.
Well,
And I've been around Eric Mays a long time and he
got a
doesn't
degree
have
from
any
Michigan
staff.
State, I
He
think.
has a degree from Michigan State,
Okay,
absolutely.
go
He has
ahead.
he has a bachelor's degree in political science. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to figure out what staffer, because at the end of the day, I had this question. I don't have a degree. So maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Is that it? Because I don't have a degree. What damn city council person has staff? So if you're going to blame that on your staff in 2014, I just want to know what staff you had because I know they won't get no staff. Because if you're getting $500 every 2 weeks, how the hell are you paying the staff? I'm just trying to say, listen, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. And I need, can somebody, can y'all tell me? Because I got questions that need answers.
Again, not in Flint, Michigan. And so ultimately the person has to take responsibility for her actions.
Was he talking about a staff like a stick?
He had other people
A walking
working.
stick?
He
They
had
call
other
it a
people.
staff?
There was other people in this town who, for whatever reason, had issues, and they wanted to make sure leadership wouldn't stand up. They wanted a manager, not a leader.
Well, also, so we could go even further. That they had these polls that put you at dead last, him at the tip top, and Jim Beam just right under him, right? Or Jeff Beam. Yeah, I done caught him with liquor.
Yeah.
I must want to drink.
Yeah. And I don't even drink. And
Hey, I must want to drink.
Thinking about this makes me like, wow.
But he got a poll. So
it was a false poll that was put out, and I had the support of the UAW. I had the support of
Woodrow Stanley.
I had the support of the chamber. I had the support of the Flint Journal. I had the support of majority elected collects. I had the support of the majority elected officials in the county, and we don't know what happened. However, because like Dr. Weaver and others, I was bold enough to speak out against certain individuals, and guess what? They rallied around and put resources behind them and put out those false narratives about me. And unfortunately, the other part, some of our faith-based brothers and sisters, some of them believe me, and some of them were quiet. But I'm grateful for those who came out and spoke out and stood with me, and who's standing now with our Dr. Weaver, because they understand, because they saw through it, but because other folks didn't want to, make anybody mad, they want to stay in the middle, which you can't stay in the middle. That's why I'm winning with her. That's why I'm here today.
Child, let me tell you, the faith-based, that's a whole nother, listen, that's a horse of another color for me. I have to discuss that on a different show, because baby, listen.
It's not like
that's a mess.
The Dr. Aldridge, the Pastor Currys of the world, who had integrity, who would bring me into the office. And,
Dr. Aldridge was my pastor.
Bishop Akins, and then even Pastor Randolph, those guys.
Pastor Randolph, and may he rest in peace, Dr. Aldridge.
Reuben Russell, they would talk to, and it was a different ball game. And by the way, we're talking about the games, but with our faith-based community, make sure you're walking what you're talking, you're walking. And
we have to fact check with them too. We can't just be following anybody that's saying that they're leaders of a flock.
That's why Dr. Weaver went to school. That's why she got a degree, and that's why I got a degree, and that's why I can tell you the books of the Bible too. Yeah. And my pastor knows me, and we do give our tithes and offerings. And when we go to other churches, we support them too, not just when it's election year. And Absolutely. Dr. Weaver and I, we've always been there. So, we understand.
I know that when we're talking about that, like I don't know if these was, the North Pole fishing poles, or the South Pole, but it wasn't an actual voting poll
It
that
was
they
a
pulled up.
poll that
That
they made up, and when
yeah,
I say they, the powers of be who didn't want to see me in there.
well, he didn't want to see you in there,
Well, he could have stayed as a city council person where he could have went on and became council president, but sometimes egos get in the way.
and
And
you all had a gentleman's agreement, correct?
I used to shake a person's hand and I'll be through with it.
Yeah,
Nah, when a person says something, I said, let me see your actions. And Dr. Karen, guess what? She tell me something, I could take that and cash
cash
it.
in the bank.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
But other people, I have to be careful. Like, okay, you said that today, but let me see when you get on Avenue A or on Bombray Street, how you gonna respond? Because when you see Pookie and Boo Boo, how you gonna?
I have a question for you. Being that all of that happened, and you have multiple degrees.
Yeah, I earned them.
How
Nobody gave
earned
me
them?
them.
Earned
Okay.
them. You didn't lie about them. You
Hey,
didn't make them up. You didn't have a staffer write it in your bio, right?
President Biden, I want that loan of forgiveness because I've been working in government for 10 years.
Right.
You don't hear me now.
So, with that being said, tell me how that makes you feel, knowing that you've earned it and you've gotten in the places that you have gotten it by earning it. How does that make you feel, knowing that somebody can just place it in there, whether it be true or not, and it's just all good?
You're insulting our integrity. You
Mm.
you think I can't say what I want to say.
No, yes, you can.
Don't insult my integrity. Don't insult my intelligence
Mm-hmm.
by putting that out there and knowing it's not true. And don't say I attended. Just say I made a mistake. Because at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility if you're a leader. Now, if you're a manager, you can place the blame on folks. But a true leader take responsibility. I mean,
Absolutely.
like my mom said, she said, you lied, you got caught in a lie, say it, move on, and ask for forgiveness. But I haven't heard that.
No.
You know, a sign of true
Point
strength.
blame.
Sign of true strength is taking responsibility for your action and not blaming somebody else. Because when you blame somebody else, that means what other things that you've done. You know, you want to take the glory
I'm telling you.
when it's good, and then we praise in public and we criticize in private.
Mm-hmm.
And for a person to meet with you one-on-one, so they're gonna do something and something happens totally opposite, it's hard for me. I can forgive you, but I can't forget.
And you guys had a gentleman's agreement to
Stay above
run
the
a
fray.
clean campaign on both sides,
Yes.
not have the propaganda and play the dirty politics, right?
Yeah, but some people say that's politics. That's not politics. Don't say that's politics, and don't say you're dividing the community. What you're doing is you have your own selfish interests at heart. You don't have the best interests of the community, because if you have the best interests of the community, you would do what's right
Absolutely.
and you would take responsibility. And it's not about a resolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom said she's so tired of these resolutions. She wants results
Mm-hmm.
because people are dying in the streets of Flint.
Absolutely.
Housing properties are going up. Our insurance is so high. But we
Man,
need leadership and we need
Listen.
jobs, and we don't need another press conference.
absolutely
I
not.
don't.
We just need results.
We want results.
Absolutely.
And under Dr. Karen Weaver's administration, what did we have?
We had results.
Didn't we
with
get
her
home
as a
state?
leader.
Didn't we get
We did.
the state back? You know.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so I don't quite understand the confusion, because again, we go back to school. You're asleep while the teacher is teaching. You got your head down and you want to go out and play recess. And that's what we're in. We're in recess. This is not kindergarten. You don't need a doctorate degree. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to do what you're doing.
Pardon me 1 second. I kind of been skimming through these a
somebody
little
hating
bit.
on me.
And no, not that. But Dante, what's your end game? When you come out here with this, what's your end game? Who you working for, sir? Because I'm just trying to understand it. You asking the question, what's going to happen if Weaver wasn't in there? What's happening right now? The same damn thing you got right now is happening. And it's going to continue to happen. You kill me with that. You come out here with that. Like, I'm just trying to understand. You know, I have really been kind of ignoring you a little bit, but now you're getting on my nerves a little bit. So I'm just trying to figure out, what's your end game with this? Like, when you come on with this, like, what's your end game? I'm just trying to figure it out. I ain't trying to be funny acting or nothing, but I really would like an answer. So if you could give it to me in the chat, or you can call me on the phone, however you want to do it. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's your end game? Because at the end of the day, Is Flint a priority for you? Like, does it matter to you? Do you live here? Like, do you see the destitute that Flint is in? Because you wouldn't be asking these questions if that was really a thing. If Flint really mattered to you and you love where you lived and you loved your city, that wouldn't be a question for you. Because I'm trying to figure out why keep him here. What happens if he doesn't win? What, y'all not gonna do your homework? You just gonna keep doing the dumb shit you've been doing? You gonna keep staying in the dumb shit that you in? That's dumb. That shit is so stupid to me. And I don't understand. And it's kind of really pissing me off. And it's kind of really pissing me off that people have those questions. It is not just you, Dante, that has those questions. It's other people as well. But I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the end game, y'all? What's the end game for Flint? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Is the end game to keep this man in there and to keep going through the same silly bullshit we've been going through? Like, I'm really trying to figure it out. Because if not, then do better. And we know better. And the point is that we absolutely know better. We know better, but we won't do better because we just gonna keep getting these peanuts. Y'all can have peanuts. I don't even eat peanuts.
And see, that's the problem. Under a Weaver administration, there was equity. You made sure that the room represented the community. Everybody got a piece of the pie. When I say everybody got a piece of the pie, how many Black entrepreneurs received them? How many Hispanic, Latino entrepreneurs received employment? How many small business received a chance at some of those government funds? Oh, but I didn't know about it. The reason you didn't know about it because you didn't do your homework. And you want to sit back here and you want to criticize as opposed to getting involved. It's easy to sit back and be an armchair quarterback, but how many of you are willing to roll up your sleeves and put in the time to make it happen?
Not even the time, but the work.
So you convinced me, and that's why I said don't let these degrees fool you. And that's why she walk around with 2 or 3 people, because some of you out there want to check her like she's, and you can fill in the blank, but she's not that.
Like she a punk?
Hey, what? Don't let these degrees fool you, because guess what? I know the word, and I know the spirit. And I know the law.
Yeah.
So don't come at me then. And even if you want to go religious, we could go there too.
I think it's silly though. I really honestly think it's silly. And I think it's silly for us not to do our homework. It's not because listen, but history shows us what works. History proves things that's happened. Like we get to see.
Her story. No, I don't want to say history. I want to talk about her story because her story is a better story. Her story is not a fairy tale.
Absolutely.
Her story, we win in the end under Weaver. Yeah. Now, if you want to go the other route, you're going to get the same results. And then 3 or 4 years from now, you're like, wow, we're at a critical junction in our community. Either we're going to sink or we're going to fail. Well, one person can't change. I challenge that. Look what happened prior to the Biden administration. Look at all this hatred that's coming out. And not just my Ivory brothers, our Ebony brothers and sisters who.
I have a different challenge. I challenge you to vote the other way and see if it changes. If you want to know what happens if she gets in office, do it. Put her there and let's watch it. Watch her work.
Didn't she go meet with Trump?
Listen,
wait, did she meet Did she meet with President Obama? Wait. Did she go with a plan of action to represent? Wait. So that's educate, articulate, and what don't you see? Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder could see the difference. When I ride back into the first ward, and I ride on Baltimore Street, and when I ride on Baldwin Street, sometimes my heart grieves. You know why?
Yeah.
Because our people deserve better. They don't deserve what we perceive. And he said, well, one person can't make a difference.
I beg to differ. But I'll say this. Let me say this. Y'all listen. Y'all know I don't live in the city of Flint, but I love Flint, and I advocate and I fight for Flint very hard.
Do you work for the people in Flint? Do your family live in Flint?
Absolutely.
Okay, so don't give me that excuse. That's an excuse.
No, it's not no excuse because I work.
Yeah. Okay. So when people say
I work.
You don't live in Flint. You probably do more for the city of Flint than some people who.
I'm sure that I do. But my point in what I was getting ready to say is that if I could, and she wasn't even a factor. I don't care who it is. I would vote Daffy Duck before I voted him. Not even joking. Because it is just a mess. It is an absolute mess. And I believe that we need better and we need to do better. And listen, if you guys write in Daffy Duck, I ain't mad at you. But I'm just saying that we have to do better. We have to indeed do better. And we have to make sure that I say this all the time. I say, we got to vet these people better. We got to vet them better.
Say it again.
We have to vet these people.
Guess what? Now I'm going to give you another history lesson.
Go for it.
Back in the 70s and 80s, they didn't have a college degree, but they had the UAW. They went
They
to training.
did.
And guess what?
They
The
did.
UAW and the community groups, they vetted folks and they made sure,
Absolutely.
unlike 2014 when I ran, we didn't have that group of elders, the vets say, no, it's not your turn. Because I remember when I wanted to run, it's like,
It's
no,
not your
it's
turn.
not your. And I was like, well, when is my turn? And they said, until you get some character, until you experience some things,
Yeah.
until you work in it. But now folks think they can get it automatically. And you see what happens. You get in a position and you're not prepared.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened. But watching
Absolutely.
Dr. Weaver, she's been working all along. So she's been prepared for it.
Absolutely.
In 2014, hey, I didn't expect anybody to give it to me, but I put in the work.
Absolutely.
When I say I put in the work, I sacrificed. I did what they told me. I went to school. I got an education. I worked in campaigns. I worked in different boards. I went to meetings. I learned. And guess what? Somebody come with a fake poll. I'm in third place. And then people who know me, who are in leadership or in management position, will say, I can't get behind him because he's going to lose.
Yeah.
And then I even had some folks who I thought was in my corner. They were nowhere to be found because they would listen to some shows on Saturday morning talking about how bad a person I was, the things I was going to do. I'm like, I wouldn't even respond. And Dr. Weaver, she was always there. Her folks in the camp always there to give me an encouraging word.
Yeah.
And I had elders there too. So put in some work and then come talk to me.
Yeah.
Show me your pedigree. I'm not talking about your educational pedigree, but show me the fruits of your labor. And I'll show you the fruits of Dr. Weaver's labor.
Mm-hmm.
Because without her, we'd still be under the rule of the state. Didn't she go fight for this community? Oh,
Absolutely.
you talking about Weaver?
Absolutely.
Well, of course. Why else would I be talking about her? I'm winning with Weaver. I mean, duh, Daffy Duck, Boo Boo the Fool. This is not Happy Days. This is not,
No.
This is Jefferson. I mean, please.
So, how would you have done things differently had you been in the seat? How would you have done things differently
I believe in coalition
besides
building.
telling the truth?
Coalition building. That's my focus. And the people who love me, love me. The people who hate me, hate me.
Absolutely.
But I work with the other parties too. Doesn't matter parties. Doesn't matter race. My thing is bringing folks together. And that's one thing that I respected. I respect about Dr. Weaver.
Yeah.
But they said, no, she don't bring folks together. She get folks on the 7th ward. She get folks on the 1st ward talking. They started a committee. Had I been in office on the state level, I would have got with the different caucuses and I would have made investments. And I would have been able to work with our state legislators, not just representatives, but Senate folks. And I still work with them.
Why didn't you come back this last election go wrong?
Why?
Mm-hmm. Are you done? You said I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, two things. Once a person show you they are, then what do?
You believe them.
You believe them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm married. My wife and I have a grandmother who's 95 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's like,
oh, shout out to grandma.
This is not the same community that I grew up in. Chester Simmons, Verdell Duncan,
Mm-hmm.
Woodrow. You don't want to talk about those folks.
Yeah.
Sylvester Boone. They don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
There's some, I stand on those folks.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And I know when I was coming up, it was noble. Now, pay $100 and you have a soundbite. That's not what I'm about. And it's not, people make it personal. Let me say this to you too. When I was a council person, even when I was a county commissioner, all the department heads or anybody who worked with us, before the meeting, I would call them in and I would say A, B, C, D. So when we got to the meeting, nobody was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Weaver, same thing. So you know where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, so you're not surprised. And I'm not doing things for show. It's about making sure people are aware of what's going on. So had I been in office, yeah, we would have been in a crisis. I think the things better differently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe it because I have those relationships. I'm a graduate of Michigan Political Leadership Program.
Yeah.
Some folks say, what is that? Do your homework.
Yeah.
Okay, do your homework. Michigan State, that's where they train folks. So when you go to the doctor, foot doctor, you don't want a heart doctor working. You want what?
Absolutely.
So that's what I would
need
have
a
done.
podiatrist. I don't need a cardiac specialist.
So
Yeah.
I would have done things differently, and it wouldn't have been about Omar, because if you see Omar, that's a problem. You should need to see the results. Okay, so that's what I would have done differently. And we all said, well, I would have brought more resources. How are you gonna bring resources if you can't get votes? You got to get votes, and you got to be at the meetings, and you have to be present.
Definitely.
And when you, especially in the state, because you got all these different bills coming,
Absolutely.
you have to have qualified staffers who know stuff, and you have to be willing to work beyond your comfort zone. And it's not a 9 to 5, and I'm still doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do differently. You know, it's about being a servant leader and not being servant. See, some people are show horses, and some people are work horses. You want a show horse. You don't want a work horse.
That's right.
Dr. Weaver's a work horse. Oh, you call her ass? I didn't call her ass. You called her ass. If you're going to quote me right. I said she's a workhorse, and I'm a workhorse. That means we get in the trenches and we work.
And let's just be clear, ass is a donkey.
Well, you know.
Let's just be clear. I don't have no degree, and I know that.
So that's why I said go to school.
Listen,
and so again,
let's just say that.
It's not about Omar being angry. It's about Omar winning with Weaver. Okay, from day one, when she said I'm not, now when she got him, I'm not. She was loyal to me. I'm loyal to her. I'm not changing. I don't care who called me. I don't care how much money you offer. I don't care how much you threaten me. And if you threaten me, you better make sure you come correct.
Woo! Because when you shoot at the king, you better kill him.
Okay, because I'm protected. Okay,
Nikki, don't we say that all the time, man?
So I mean, I'm just saying.
You better kill him.
And I know by me being here, it's not popular with some folks, but guess what? I'm not about popularity. I'm about winning with Weaver.
Okay. Y'all heard what he said. He winning with Weaver. Now he done said it a million times. I hope y'all heard him. What you said you was doing what?
Winning with Weaver.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, why? Karen with Karen. Why?
There you go.
She's a doctor. We need healing.
Yeah.
I just don't quite. Oh, I know. I don't like the people she associated with. Well, I don't like the people you associate yourself with. You know, if Jesus was here, they wouldn't like him. So
listen, they ain't like him when he was here.
So
I'm just
so please, my brothers and my sisters, don't come at us with, look who she got around her. Look who's around current administration. Look who's previous administration. That's always been the case.
Well, you know what my issue with the look who's around her deal is that people don't believe that folks can redeem themselves. Folks don't think that you can apologize and say, hey, I was wrong. Now, there's a few people that are around her right now that say, hey, I was wrong. I had some misinformation. I didn't fact check. I didn't this. I didn't that. Just A, B, and C, right? And they said it. I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And being that they said that, like, and I'm gonna say this: these are some faith-based folks that's real gangster.
No, they're fake, not fake.
Listen,
there's a difference between fake and fake.
Faith, whatever the case may be, they real gangster, and they playing a real gangster, and they playing a dangerous game with some of these things, right? And my point is that if you are doing those things, and these are the people you coming up with, and you listening to these pastors, and this is how you acting. Listen, I don't know. Listen, if that's Christianity, I don't want no part of it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't want no part of it.
I had some friends when I ran in 14 who I went to school with who were in pastoral position. Mm. Some of them didn't even say a word. Now I'm gonna call out one brother who was there with me from day one. Mm-hmm. Chris Martin, George Wilson, my pastor. Mm-hmm. So they were there with me. Huh? Mm-hmm. Everybody has their issue, but I'm just saying. We were there from the beginning to the end, and Dr. Weaver was there to help nurture the healing. So, and I'm not paying folks, by the way. No. and Dr. Weaver, and you didn't pay me to come on this show.
I did not. I ain't got no money.
So don't think I'm being bought out. You know, you can't buy me.
I ain't got no money. No, no.
You can't afford me.
No.
Okay, let's say that you can't afford me.
No, I can't.
Wow.
Go for it.
No, I was just looking away. We said, who was the people around? Oh, well, Becky Brown said, look at the hustlers around Neely.
But can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? Let's say this. Y'all don't like the people that's around. Y'all don't like the people that's around her. But there is a convicted sex offender with HIV going up. Listen. This is continuously being brought to me, and this man is around in this camp. Y'all mad at me? I ain't in nobody's camp. Y'all mad at me? Listen, this is it.
I'm not gonna
y'all
waste
can
my
read
time
it.
there.
This is listen. Y'all can read it. It's in there. Y'all on the chat. It's in there. I'm just trying to tell y'all that we're mad. Who we mad at? We mad at Winters. We mad at Art. We upset at them. Okay.
Well,
Time.
And I'll say, we are mad at Tanya.
I
Okay,
should be
because
upset
here's the
because
thing.
they weren't with me.
Well, I'm just saying, if y'all mad at them, I'm just saying, there's a bunch of people that's around him that have done a whole bunch of things, and I'm sure there's a bunch of things of people around her that has done some things. If y'all can pull up, but see, here's the difference between some of them on his side and some of them on her side. Some of them can admit their wrongdoings and say that that's the thing. But again, if you just saying I don't care about none of that shit, I'm with him, I'm loyal, and this is what I'm doing. Listen, I can respect that.
Same here.
Y'all gangster with it. It ain't even that. Y'all just being super gangster. I'm talking about to the point to where y'all putting folks' addresses out there and y'all doing all kinds of this. I'm telling
And see,
you right now, don't pull up on me because you gonna get your issue. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just trying to tell you. Listen, Mickey, I gotta put that out there because you know that shit be coming. I'm just trying to tell you. Don't do that. Y'all leave folks alone for real.
Don't
And wherever you catch them, catch them. You want to talk to them and have a conversation, but y'all gotta stop that. Y'all playing a dangerous, dangerous game. And I keep saying, y'all taking this political into the streets, and y'all playing this street stuff, and y'all want to play the streets. But y'all really need to keep it political. Y'all gonna catch y'all issue. I'm telling you, and I'm for sure y'all don't want it like that. Y'all got to be careful. I done seen some of y'all playing real gangster, and that's the reason why I'm not in them groups. I'm not on. Y'all don't catch me on Facebook. Y'all don't catch me on none of that because I don't want to deal in that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to be a part of that. I don't want to have me all mad. I don't want to have my blood pressure up. Like none of that. I don't go in there because I don't want to do that. And I know there's some things that have been said about me. There's some things that's going around about me. I could care less. I could. Well, no, I couldn't. I probably could care less. I could care less about it. But the thing about it is that at the end of the day, the end game for me is to really continue to do the work out here for real. No matter who's in office, no matter what's going on, is to really continue to do the work out here. And it's for the people. And I'm never going to do anything at the plight of my people.
At the end of the day, it's about our people.
At the end of the day.
After the election, it's about Flint, Genesee County, and state come together. We do have peacemakers, right? You missed what I just said.
We do.
No, you missed what I said. We do have peacemakers.
We do.
It went over your head, and I want to think we do have peacemakers. So when you go gangster, we do have peacemakers.
We do. You ain't go over shit. I heard you. We do.
Okay. And that's why Dr. Weaver, and that's why in 2014 we have folks around us because all men aren't men of faith. Some men want to talk that talk, but they don't want to walk it. And then they try to walk it. Mama, I didn't mean that. Well, yes, you did. Because anybody get on social media and say stuff, but how many of you willing to get out there and do the work? How many of you willing to work in your block club? How many of you willing to mentor kids? How many of you willing to start an entrepreneurship program? How many of you willing to teach somebody how to read? How many of you willing to help an elderly person?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to getting on this stuff, talking about how much you're doing. How many of you gone to a city council meeting? How many of you helped Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey or Councilman Burns? How many of you have helped Councilman as opposed to criticizing?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you talk about Dr. Weaver, how many of you say, hey, I have this idea. I'm bringing some business people here, and this is how we can move our community to get forward. I want to purchase this land, and I want to do something, make my community better. That's what the old fathers did, School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these folks who are doing stuff on the Facebook, they're socially awkward.
So what happened to those people? So what happened? Where did the switch get flipped? Where are all those people at now? Because I remember, like you wanted to say, Dr. Avery Aldrich, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Randolph, right?
Randolph.
And then you had Reverend Alfred A.C. Rouse, right?
Yeah.
We had all of these
Pastor
people back then. We had
Curry,
Pastor
We
Curry,
had Bishop Floyd, and
Bishop. I was just going to say, and Bishop Floyd. We
Yeah.
had all of these people that were warriors,
Yeah.
civil rights warriors.
Mhm.
and they were out there. What happened? Where did the ball get dropped? What happened?
You know what? How much time do we have on that one? Because I have my opinion.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it.
Respect. One of the things about respect,
Mm.
we lost respect for who we are. When we had strong leadership, we didn't appreciate it. We wanted somebody to lie to us that's supposed to tell the truth. And those men were men who told the truth.
Yeah.
And we had leaders like Sylvester Broom who told the truth.
Yeah.
You know, Verdell Duncan. People
Told.
said they want to say
Told the
they
truth.
told the truth.
So basically, what you saying was basically to sum up what she's saying. What it got dropped at, we got the liars in power.
We
now.
got the lies, poly lies,
Right.
and that's what you see now. Folks not being upfront and honest.
So how that go with the current person who's in a position that if he's surrounding himself with crooks?
Well, I was told I was an educated thug. You know, a woman told me that. She said, "You're an educated thug." I said, "Well, good. That means that I know what's going on in the streets and I know what's going on in the classroom." So, you know, I can't control who a person surrounds himself with, but I can control my actions.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about Dr. Weaver. She was accountable, and our city was moving forward. We were getting the resources, and we were meeting the deadline, and we were getting Democrats, Republicans, Black, white, Latinos,
Yeah.
everybody working together. And it wasn't the division. The people who want to control things, and I don't know who, y'all probably know who they are, because they don't, when they're around me, they don't show their hand. But Dr. Weaver, you can't tell her anything because Runa says she's no nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm glad you brought up accountability because accountability is big for me. And so I'm the same way. And I will take accountability for my actions if I did something wrong or whatever. And if I understand it later or I know about it, I don't have a problem with saying, my bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I
Well, you just said
apologize.
something. That's the key. We're men and women enough to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. If I offended you, I'm sorry.
sorry.
If I didn't say it the right way, I'm sorry. But look at my heart and look at what I've done for, and look what I'm doing for you right now. Janet Jackson said, what have you done
What have you done for me, Daddy?
And don't go back to rumors.
Yeah.
You know? Time is, you too young to remember time is. Look at all these rumors.
Look at all these rumors
Okay.
in front of me. Hey, go you want to know
I mean-
know what I'm talking about. Listen,
You ain't telling me you're a spring chicken.
you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to me. He think I'm 22 in here. I'm feeling young and spry right now. I was tired as hell, but he done made me feel young and spry. I am 45,
but
sir.
let me tell you something. And you know, a good friend of ours, may rest in peace. He said, "Ain't no future in your what?
Frontin'.
Ain't no what?
Ain't no future in your front.
Huh? Okay, from
Yeah.
DuPont Street,
Listen, and I
across street from Burning Chapel Church.
Yeah, and you ain't got a lot to kick it. You don't have a lot to kick it. Not with me anyway.
Okay.
How many people where they are? You ain't gotta do nothing special for me. I am who I am, and you can be who you are, and we can still kick it. You know,
Yeah.
if we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we don't. Right?
Okay.
And that's just how it is.
Mhm.
But I love that you said accountability because that's the thing. And I had just recently thought about accountability a little bit differently because people say we gotta start that accountability. We gotta start from the top and gotta go down, whatever. And we gotta start from the bottom up
You got to work out.
because it starts from us.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for the last.
Grassroots.
It is. You have to work from the bottom up.
And then look at. I want to go back to Dr. Weaver.
Go for it.
Look at her family history. Her parents, her sister even worked. Educated. I mean, and that's the part
Her
that
sister,
I don't.
such a sweet lady. Shout out to her sister.
I mean,
Such a sweet lady. I met her last
quiet
week.
for,
Such a sweet
and
lady.
then she got a husband.
Both of them.
She got a husband. He's a gentle giant, but guess what?
My goodness gracious.
He's real.
One of the
I'm
nicest
not
guys
talking about
I have-
anybody's fault, but I'm just talking about my
Listen.
interaction with him. And this man, he could be in a room, you don't even know he's there, but guess what? Third generation, and he's a gentle giant who's there.
He's
loving and
also a
supporting
dentist,
him.
and I need a new dentist, so I'm gonna look him up.
You probably say, well, what it have to do with anything? What it has to do with surrounding yourself with people who got your back and is gonna call a spade, and gonna hold you accountable, and it's not just gonna say, well, yes, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nobody needs a yes man.
Nobody needs a yes man, and they're rooted in this community. They didn't just
Yeah.
didn't come here when we had the water crisis. They've
No,
been
they
working
live
here
here.
for generations. So this is not something they woke up and said, "I want to do," and then she got the 3 kids. I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
this
They
is family,
cool.
huh? Yeah,
They are.
And so when
Very much
you
so.
spit that venom, what you realize you're trying to kill the tree, but you can't kill the tree because they're rooted, and they're going to survive the storm because, like a flint, they will survive. And that's why I'm here today.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here today, and that's why I want folks to know: do your homework, go to school. When I say go to school, don't just look at one source. Get multiple sources, and then judge their actions. Because ask other folks. You know, because I'm gonna tell you something. If I don't tell you the same thing, somebody, you know, and don't say, "Woe is man." Don't say this is the worst it's ever been. It was worse in 2014 when I had to go through all the lies when the stuff was said about me, and I'm like, "Who, me?" And then somebody approached my wife, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, now you gonna,
Oh, no,
you know, you crossed the line," and they had to back me up. And then the old Ali came out. That's why I said, "Don't let these degrees fool you," and that's why I said I believe in peacemakers.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, I ain't 45 no more, but I ain't no 32 either.
Right.
But I may have, you know what?
I understood. I understood. Listen.
Say less.
I can read and rewrite.
Right.
Huh?
I'm with you.
You know,
Listen, I can read and
I
rewrite.
can't
I heard what you said.
I do believe in the Second Amendment.
I heard what you said. I heard what you said when you
that's
said
the point that I was getting at. Because like I say, I've been around her team,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I see how they all interact.
We do.
Yeah, because I know we're part of it. But I'm saying, why did we, you know, before we was sitting down, and I seen his crew.
Definitely seen that one.
Everybody know what they tell me. He's a liar, but they say it off camera. They ain't gonna never say it in front. They say he's a liar, but they got to roll with him, and I just keep it moving.
I'm rolling with Weaver. I'm winning with Weaver. I'm unapologetic. I'm winning with Weaver. You know, we go back when she was at My Children's Health Center. We go back when she was we go back when she had her own business. I'm winning with Weaver.
Gloria Campbell said she wants your hoodie.
Hey, she got it from the wife. The wife got this for me.
Wife got it for him. We're gonna holler at wife, see if we can get you one.
What's up?
We're gonna holler at wife and see if we can get you one. Gloria, what size? We got to talk to wife and see if she can get you one made up.
We definitely got to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But no, but at the end of the day, Dr. Weaver, she's caring and she's concerned about this community, and let's finish the work that she started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let her and Whitmer work together hand in hand. Let her and other folks in Lansing and DC restore Flint Pride. We're not looking for a handout. We're looking for a handout.
I have a question for you. If you had to do it all over again, you go back and you had to do it all over again, would you address those things?
I would. Look.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I would have addressed it so fast, and I would have other folks speaking, and I would have called folks on the carpet. I would say, you can't stand on the sideline. You got to get either you're with me or you're against me.
There you go.
And
there you go.
I didn't hold folks accountable.
There you go.
And like Dr. She asked me, she said, "Are you with me?" I'm with her. I would have went to folks and said, "Are you with me?" And if they weren't with me, I would have did things differently.
Yeah.
In my race. And then it would have been probably ugly because he would, they would have said, "Well, Omar's been nasty." No, because I would have stated the facts. I would have called, I would have went to school, I would have did my math. And then, of course, we would probably have biology because we would cut him up. And then you'd have to go to home ec, sew him back up together.
There you go.
But then the history was that Omar's a hood. No, Omar was just sharing.
And let's say this, because there's nobody wishes any harm to anybody.
Mm-mm.
No,
I definitely don't. And just because I don't like how he's running things doesn't mean that I wish any harm on him. Just because I don't, it's a lot of people I don't like. But let me tell you something, what I don't have a problem with, and Mickey can tell you this right now, I don't have a problem with addressing that with anybody. And y'all know me by now. Y'all know I don't have a problem with addressing that with anybody. And just like I would love for him to come on here and let's talk about it. Like we talk about it. I've extended the olive branch several times, right? And the door is still open. The invitation is open. It's a very open-ended invitation. But I nobody wishes anything. I don't wish, because at the end of the day, it's not I've known him for a little while, right? And it has absolutely nothing to do with him outside of that. We were fine. And if I see him, and when I do see him, I always, hey, how you doing? I never not speak to him or anything like that. I do.
You respect the office. You may have an issue with the person, but you respect the office.
I don't even have a problem with him.
Yeah. Well,
I have a problem with the things that he's doing. I have a problem with how he's running the business.
It's almost like you want to go to Detroit. I'm trying to get you there in a first class Corvette, but you want to ride your bicycle, and then you want to take the back roads, and I'm trying to get you the expressway. I'm trying to expose you to things, and you're not willing. And unfortunately, the direction the city is going in right now is not the direction I foreseen in the city. And the other thing is, nobody wants any harm in anybody, because at the end of the day, we're one people in one community, and we're supposed to be serving one God, doing His will.
Yeah.
If we're, I'm talking to my Christian brothers and sisters right now. That one.
Yeah.
Okay. So after November, the election, we still have to work, and I believe with your help, we'll be winning with Weaver, and then we'll get the city back on track, because right now we're off track. And I said this earlier. Did we miss a deadline today for the pipes?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Replacement.
Yeah.
Replacement.
Yeah.
Who brought attention to that?
Dr. Weaver.
Dr. Weaver, healthcare. I'm dealing with going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
She brought attention to that. Who was the one who made sure that Flint got money? And then there was a lawsuit, and some people were happy with the crumbs, but she was the one who stood up and said, that's not enough because of the emotional drain of our children.
Yeah.
Clinical psychology.
And
Absolutely.
You want me to believe, this is what I'm saying with these pastors. Mm-hmm. You want me to believe these people honestly believe in God?
I can't. That's on them, but I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying. I'm all the way with you, but I'm just saying, like how she said, no, Dr. Weaver, like she said,
no nonsense.
No, I see a certain person have that cross up there.
That's.
No, I'm just saying.
I know.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, but how can you honestly say? Because I look at it, because don't get me wrong. When I be hearing them pastors, and me, I'm like, I know it's good ones. I know it's in every religion. You got the good and the bad. But when I be saying pastors, because in the Bible, you're a Christian, brother, right? Mm-hmm. Say, thou shalt not lie. That's one of the 10 commandments. Yeah, but then they supporting the God that lie every day.
They're not supporting the New Testament said even the elite would be misled. And sometimes they don't quite understand because they haven't been exposed. And that's part of it. We have to expose our folks. And Dr. Weaver, she's not just local, she's internationally known. And when you look at the other camp, nice people, family, you can say all the good things, but there's a difference between nice and having the experience of understanding what's in the best interest of our community and being trained. Because like I said earlier, when you go to a foot doctor, you don't need a heart specialist.
Yeah.
And right now, Flint is on life support, and we need a specialist. And somebody said, well, a politician can't solve it. Yeah, but they can put people around them to make things move forward.
That's true.
Yeah. So
that's true.
And we're not on a vengeance tour. Dr. Weaver is not vengeful. She's trying to restore. Okay, so
there's
please.
Only one person who was vengeful. That's what I'm saying when they say, how can we fix it up? There was only one person did W.T. Stevens wrong.
Hello now.
But when they saying, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Do you hear when they saying, how can we come together? Ask them.
Yeah, ask them.
Don't ask over here, because you see, she done made up her art, her Wintersaw, her Tanya Blunt. I mean, she done made up as
Jeff Gray, W.T. Stevens.
Yes, sir.
Guess what? Big brother. Northwestern great. Businessman, how many brothers did he hire? How many he gave a chance? Entrepreneurs. He gave them a second chance. So when you attack Jeff, you attacking those of us who support him because he gave folks a chance. Because if they didn't give him a chance, they could be doing something else. A black business from Flint.
Yeah.
Homegrown.
Northwestern class of 84. So we want to talk about school pride. Jeff Gray.
And who helping them right now that's digging up lines?
Jeff Gray.
Jeff Gray.
Oh, wow.
And so,
Yeah.
right, so Jeff is my buddy. Jeff, we go.
See, I didn't know. I just brought it up. So,
Well,
yeah,
Jeff is.
I didn't know.
We went to Gundry together. Jeff called me Ali. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, you been
Jeff
throwing hands, man.
Yeah.
You been throwing them.
Pastor Allen Overton, they called me Ali. Ali for a reason. So those guys, I mean.
Homegrown.
I definitely would like to know from everybody on either side of the fence, what's your end game in this election? What's your end game? What would you like to see happen from this, and why? If it's for Dr. Weaver, what's your end game for Flinty? What would you like to see happen from this? If it's to continue to roll with Neely, what's the end game? What would you like to see happen from this? Because you can't tell me that you expect to see something different, because you would have done that already. You've seen that already, and especially how things are going. So what's the end game? Do we continue to roll like we've been rolling and get what we've been getting? Seriously, this is a serious question. Y'all know I don't really have to dog in the fight. I can't vote either way. But I can't vote.
You got
I don't
family here. You got family.
I can't vote. I don't vote. I'm talking about me personally.
Okay.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about me and my vote, period.
Okay.
And I don't have one. But I do love the city of Flint. I do have family that live in the city of Flint. So I am here by way of Flint, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point of it is I want to know what's the end game for y'all. If you continue to be here and you want to continue to live in this great city of Flint and you want to see it be that again, what's the end game? Where do you decide that you're going to do something different?
Yeah.
When do you decide? Because was 8.5 years ago when the water crisis happened, was that not enough? Was that not enough? Because for me, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Seriously, there were so many things going on, but for me, is that where is it? I think that should have been the line for everyone, but it wasn't. So how much more do you have to take personally, right? How much more does the city have to take? That's the question. For me, that's the question.
For me, the question is, what about the children?
Well, they're here, and that's what I'm saying.
What about the children? Yolanda Adams said it best. What about the children? Or
Auntie Whitney said it. Auntie Whitney said
Is it time to make that change, or are we gonna give the people what they want?
Uncle Mike said that.
Yeah.
It's time to make the change.
Or
That's what Uncle Mike
We're gonna
said.
give the people what they want.
We got to do something, guys. We have to make sure that we are vetting these people, whether it be city council, whether it be the mayor, whether it be the governor, whether it be the state senate, whether it be the state rep,
county commissioner,
whether it be county commissioner, any of those things. We have got to do our homework. We have got to, as he said, go to school. We have got to make sure that we are asking the right questions. We have got to make sure that we are looking up the right things, because there's a lot of things that we can look up and it's not necessarily the right person. So you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we have to make sure that we are using credible resources, credible sources, credible resources. And we are, but more than that, we got to ask the right questions, because there are platforms just as these and other ones. There are the other platforms, not just my own, but there are some other platforms that we can ask these questions and we can get those answers. And for the most part, there's a lot of people that you see out in this. Listen, I can't tell you that you see him, but I know y'all see Dr. Weaver, and Dr. Weaver is out and she is beating them streets down, baby. Listen. I think I'm gonna buy a new pair of Nikes, because I'm telling you, and she beating them streets down. And she's knocking on doors. You can see her. You literally can see her, and you can ask her anything. She is literally an open book. I've asked her so many questions that make your head spin, and she is not wavered on any answer that she has given me. She has not thought about it. She is just like that.
She didn't give you the politically correct answer.
She did not. And some of them she didn't give me a PC answer, and she didn't give me PC verbiage. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that those are the type of people that I want to see there. And as much as y'all got the bad to say about Eric Mays, I ain't never called his phone and he ain't never answered me.
That's first
No,
four.
that's real
What-
shit.
Well, that's first four period. That's something that we do in the first
That's
four.
real shit. I have never called his phone. He's not answering me. I've never called Tanya Burns and she is not answering me. I've never called Jerry Winfrey Carter and she ain't answering me. And listen, and as quiet as it kept, I know y'all probably don't like to hear these words, whatever, but I called Dennis Pfeiffer and every time I called Dennis Pfeiffer, he answered me. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just giving you an example of people that I feel like that I can go to and I can talk to. Now, whether they're doing the right things or not, something different. But I asked them the questions, and I'm like I said, you may not want to hear that. Hey, listen, and even but even hold on, I'll go even one more. Judy Priestley. Every time that I've called Judy Priestley, she has never not answered my phone call. She has never not talked to me. I'm just trying to tell you that it's people like that. I'm not saying that I'm rolling with everything that they do. However, it's people like that that you, if you feel like you can call them and you can ask them a question, those are the people that you need to be calling and asking questions to. Listen, I done called Tanya when I didn't agree with something Tanya said, and I done call her, listen, and I'll be like, Tanya, now what the hell? Now you know, man, come on, man. Me and Jerry Winfrey Carter had it. She told me, she said, I heard what you said. I said, yes, I did, because I needed to know why you did that. And you ain't answered me. And we had a conversation about it, right?
But you heard what you just said. Wait. You just said a key piece. Conversation.
We had a conversation.
Communication. And guess what? Even if you don't agree, they knew where you stood.
Yeah.
And that's what's.
Yeah.
So when you talk about, when our community went down, we stopped communicating because we're too busy trying to do stuff on social media as opposed to face to face. You got something to say?
I love face to face. I didn't know you from a can of paint, but I called you. I ain't text you. I didn't nothing. I called you, right?
Did I answer?
I got your information. Every time I've called you, you answer me.
Okay.
But my point is that I called you and we had a conversation, right?
And when folks say Dr. Weaver, I love this because I know this for a fact. When you called her office, she responded.
Yeah.
She didn't give you an excuse. She responded, and then that's what's lacking in our community.
I've called, and listen, I can tell you a bunch of people that I've called. I've called Art. I've called Winters. I've called Chia. I've called all of these people. I've called and I've never not gotten an answer from them.
Well, I've never going on then.
Huh?
I'm gonna let you finish because I'm gonna slam them when you get done.
Go ahead and slam.
I'm gonna slam them.
You
Judy
slam
Priestley.
Go for it.
I mean, because what I'm saying.
No, come on.
Because I hear what you say. Because I call, like you said, I call Art Wins all them other people, but Dennis Pfeiffer. So I go back to an old friend. As I say, old friend. Watch what people don't watch what they say. Watch how they vote. See, you can be fooled by because Dennis Pfeiffer. Like I'm just saying, certain people that answer their phone. I see the other people.
No, but I said ask them the question.
I said for you. I'm saying for you.
I got you.
Because I hear other people. Because I hear people in the Regency say I'm just being honest. I got a Southside friend. Yeah. They don't say evil word and answer the phone.
No,
I know people over there. For Ali Hogan wrote it. See, my thing is I don't want us to get caught up.
Yeah.
Would they be smiling? Then you hear. Yeah. They study. With the line, how they voting. Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
But that's but we've had no. But we've had conversations like that, right? Because you've been around when I asked when I talked to her and I said, why you voting like that? Like, what's up?
You just.
But I believe that everybody should be able to do that. And those are the things that I'm talking about. And if you can, and that's my reason in saying that. If those are the people that you can call, then get them the answers from them. Goddamn it, call them and ask them.
I'm gonna be honest. We'll be at the council member, they'll speak to you. They'll see me. Them sap suckers won't say nothing because you know what I was gonna say. Because I'm gonna tell them they're lying.
Because they don't want to deal with you because you are.
Well, Mickey, I ain't telling them that they telling the truth. Now, we don't have them kind of conversations.
I mean, I'm just saying, well, for me, because like I say, I know you gonna handle your business. I see Chi gonna say, Mickey. No, I threw Eva up in there because she always get left out.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Why do you have an 8-hour council meeting?
I wish I knew better. Because listen,
when you hiding and blowing money and scheming, you will have that.
Ed Taylor, I'll never forget my first council meeting. Ed Taylor and I had a big blow up. And Peggy Cook, who was a fourth ward councilman, she said something to me, and you would have thought warning. But guess what? at that meeting,
Mm-hmm.
we were out less than 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
because we handled it before the meeting. And when we got to the meeting, it was already resolved. So I'm not telling council how to do their business because that chapter of my life
Somebody
is
need to tell
closed.
their asses
But
how
by
to
the
do
same
business.
token,
Shit.
you have to communicate, and then you have to take advantage of leadership opportunities. You're an elitist. Oh, I'm not an elitist, but get some education. Go to the class. Michigan Municipal League. Dr. Karen Weaver, she was a part of the Mayor's Association. Guess what? She was a representative. Get some education beyond where you are so you can understand.
Absolutely.
We used to go to Lansing and DC to learn about how to communicate, operate as a
Yeah.
council. Were we
Yeah.
perfect? No. Did we have our issues? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get some training. I don't care if you fixing somebody's car. You
Absolutely.
got to have some training, and that's what's lacking.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you do hair. Be the best hairdresser. You have to have training.
You have to invest in yourself, right?
Yes,
You have to
and
invest
you
in
can't lie
yourself.
about it.
But not even only do you have to have that, you have to have some integrity. You got to have a heart and some integrity.
Don't smile in my face and you tap me in my back.
Ooh,
Because
child.
I see it all the
Ooh,
time.
child.
I mean, and I'm like, don't, you're insulting me. I know your agenda. Your agenda is not for my best interest. Your agenda is not for the interest of the city.
Yeah.
Your agenda is for you,
Yeah.
and your few friends. Because somebody's getting paid. Why not? Why not us? Think about the small business.
Yeah.
How come they're not getting paid? How come they don't have city contracts?
Leadership. When Dr. Weaver was in office, she was going to help. She was helping the small business.
Mm.
Economic development, right?
Yeah.
That's what she created.
Yeah.
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 He I think he was like Trump to Obama.
Well, okay.
Everything she did, he wanted to undo.
Destroyed.
Woo,
Yes, he
have
did.
mercy.
We got our Trump.
My mom says that all the time.
Have you
Your
just
mom's
looked
smart,
at
My
it?
mom says, but she doesn't have a college degree.
Me neither.
Neither do I, but your mom's
But
smart.
she's the UAW
But
retiree.
I went there. I didn't finish.
Did
I
I?
came back.
Yeah, so,
I
but
retired.
everything that she, okay, I have to say that the foundation that she laid. If I was in a farmland, what they're doing, they're trying to pull up everything that she did. Or people go and they say, look what I started, but she's already laid the foundation. You're only reaping the benefits of what she did.
Look at Lear. He said he went on another podcast and went and said but see, I understand why he go to certain shows because he ain't coming on here. I'm gonna be honest with you, because he's gonna get asked about that line about that degree. He's gonna get asked about Lear. You know what I'm saying?
It's about tough questions, and some people have a problem. My mom said this about Tanya Burrs. She said, "You know why I don't like Tanya Burrs?" Her and my aunt said, "You know why I don't like Tanya Burrs?" I said, "What?" Because she asked a tough question, and she asked like a black woman. I was like, "She act like a woman." They said, "No, a black woman." And some people don't like. I was like, "That's not true." I said, "Look at." And I had to think. I was like,
Well, child, let me tell you how they don't like me, child. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You should hear some of the stuff and seen some of the stuff they say. Child, they don't like me either.
Are they paying your bills?
Child, I don't care.
Okay.
That's how you post.
I don't even care.
Can you sleep with yourself at night?
Ooh, child, like a baby.
And
Listen
that's
here.
the other thing. I gotta say this.
Like a newborn baby.
At the end of the night, I go rest that night. And when I look in the mirror, I know, and Dr. Weaver could say this too about her, I did what was right for the city. I may have suffered, I may have lost some things along the way, but at the end of the day, I feel good that I helped somebody along the way.
Absolutely.
So that's all I gotta say.
And that's it. That's the thing. You are accountable.
Yes,
You have integrity.
of course.
And you have a heart.
A servant. Servant leader.
Absolutely. And that's what you have to have in order to be in these places. So we definitely miss you not being in some of those spots, though.
You need gray hairs. I just got a little weight. But I know.
No. But we definitely miss people like you in seats like that. Let me say that. And it's shameful that we didn't get a chance to see you progress in some of those other places.
Thank you. That's,
You know what the future holds. Don't get worried.
Absolutely.
I'm still happy. I'm moving on.
You don't
And
know.
as long as you are still in the community and doing things for the community. So, we still appreciate you being
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, but don't approach me the wrong way because I still got Ali in me.
said
I'm
what he
sorry.
said.
I have
He
to say that
said what he
because
said.
some folks still approach me. I'm like,
Yeah.
please don't go there.
Right.
I carry my Bible, but I also carry my friend with me too.
Yes, sir. As you
Hey,
should.
listen.
With
I believe in the Second
How
Amendment.
I say that?
Don't
But-
worry about it.
But again, Omar, I appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you've been doing and you have done. I appreciate you coming on and you talking to me and you talking to my people.
Okay.
My people are the best. I love them so hard. They rock with me every week.
Oh, good.
They rock with me every week. And they came on here to rock with you too.
Well, I hope I did some good today.
Absolutely,
'Cause
you did.
what are we doing?
Winning with Weaver?
We winning with who?
Okay, winning with Weaver. That's what he said. So I just want to make sure that I tell you that I appreciate you. I believe in giving people their flowers while they are still here to receive them. And so for you, sir, I'm giving you your bouquet. So I really appreciate
Thank you. And I'm gonna give her a hug and ain't nothing going on here, all right?
No, thank you so much.
Ain't nothing.
No.
That's family love.
Absolutely. So I really appreciate you, Omar, and I appreciate you to continue doing the work out here. So please continue to do the work, and we'll be seeing each other, and we'll definitely keep in touch, and we'll keep doing all these things together,
Especially
right?
after we win.
You know it. So listen, y'all know I love y'all so hard, and I put it in the chat because I just really, really, truly appreciate you all being in here, right? And I appreciate you all rocking with me every week and coming to see what's going on. Like right now, just like Omar said, that we really have to do our homework and we have to go to school and we have to make sure that we are vetting the people and we are doing our due diligence and doing the research and making sure that we get the best people in these places as we should to keep moving forward and to keep progressing. So guys, make sure that you are doing that. Make sure you are encouraging people to get registered to vote. Make sure you are encouraging people to get out and vote because it's important that they absolutely vote, not just get registered to vote. So you have to get registered, you have to show up, and you got to do it, right? So those are the three things that we need you to do. Get registered, show up, and vote. Right? But make sure that you are voting the right people in. Do your research, right? And if your research determines that you should be winning with Weaver, then I need you to do that. If not, I get it. But I definitely recommend that you do that. And make sure that when you are doing that, you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure that they do that as well. Go pick somebody up. You all make it a day. And you all go have breakfast and go vote. Or you all go have lunch and go vote. Or you get off work and you take some people with you. I don't care how you do it, but just do it. Make sure you get it done. Get her done. So you all know that I am. Oh, and make sure that you are getting the children involved too. So if you know children that are 18, make sure that you are getting them registered to vote. Teach them how. And if you all don't know how, make sure you get in touch with us and we will put you in the right places with the right people that will show you how to fill out a ballot correctly, or to show you how to fill out the voter registration correctly. Make sure if you are voting absentee, you do that now because the time is now. Is right now. You can vote absentee right now. So make sure you do that. Shout out to all my people that come out here and religiously come and see me every week to see what I'm doing and who I'm talking to next, or who I'm talking about next, or what I'm talking about next. I appreciate you all. So make sure that you tune in next Friday. Make sure you tune in tomorrow where you will see Pastor Thurkill, right? Reverend Thurkill at 8, and then Deacon AC Doom is gonna be talking spit at 9:30. So y'all make sure y'all come and see him as well. Right. All right. So you all know that I am a huge advocate of mental health. And with that being said, I need you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Love you, because what's better than you? Absolutely nothing. So make sure that you are loving on yourself so that you can what in turn love on somebody else, right? So make sure that you are doing that. Make sure you are drinking your water, not Flint water, because Flint water is not clean. Okay, I don't care what they tell you. Flint water is not clean. So make sure you're drinking your water, as Omar is doing right now. Make sure that you can at least get 30 minutes of cardio in every single day, because that'll help you with your mind, body, and spirit, right? Make sure that you are getting some vitamin D when you go out in the sunshine and you breathe in that beautiful prana, right? And get you some fresh air. Make sure that you are contacting people when it's fresh on your mind, because you're thinking about them for a reason. Just to say, call and say hello or whatever it is. Make sure that you are doing that as well. Take the time to apologize if need be. do all of those things that are going to make you happy and keep you happy, right? Because nothing is more important than your happiness and your peace of mind. And if you don't have that and you need some help in doing that, contact Chia Morgan. She can help you with that. And if you are a very close friend or a relative of Chia, she will put you in the right places with someone. There is no shame in going to see somebody about getting you back to you. All right. So with that being said, I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I gotta work in the morning. That is the shadiest shit ever. I gotta work in the morning. So I am out. I love y'all. Peace.